They all say this about Holly Rowe, and it's like, if you want something to not get out, do not say it to Holly Rowe, because Holly Rowe will, anything said in confidence to Holly Rowe will be spread. You can assume that Holly Rowe will spread literally anything. But it says here, she also pursued some noteworthy. Stephanie White did tell us they'll be even more cautious with her return to play this time. Rowe added that Clark didn't receive adequate practice or ramp up time when she returned from her previous groin injury to the.
ESPN recently discussed during their broadcast coverage information regarding Caitlin Clark's anticipated comeback timeline, with Robin Lundberg providing updated details. The network suggested a return window falling within the third week of August, approximately around August 15th, which aligns closely with earlier predictions that targeted August 10th as a potential date. The Indiana Fever star has faced a challenging season with various physical setbacks, most recently dealing with a right groin strain. Clark has been absent from 4 consecutive games due to this condition, though her teammates managed to secure a victory against the Sky during her absence on Sunday. The nationally broadcast ESPN ABC game provided viewers with the latest updates on her rehabilitation progress. ESPN's Holly Rowe shared exclusive information during the telecast, noting that anything communicated to Rowe typically becomes public knowledge due to her reputation for transparency in reporting.
Previous groin injury to the left side. So this time they're going to make sure she has a time practice to get rhythm and timing with her teammates. We're going to be honest, like she literally, I think it was like the Monday she practiced and she played on the Tuesday. She went full, it was the next day. And like, I think that if you're looking for the Fever, like I said here, a realistic window, knowing that her status will be monitored on a day-to-day basis. It said the third week of August, a pocket of Fever schedule that could be realistic. And I think in general,
the broadcast revealed that Stephanie White indicated the team plans to exercise greater caution with Clark's return compared to her previous comeback attempt. The coaching staff acknowledged that Clark didn't receive sufficient practice sessions or proper preparation time when recovering from her earlier left groin injury. This time around, the organization wants to ensure adequate practice opportunities for Clark to redevelop her rhythm and coordination with teammates. Previously, Clark participated in just one Monday practice session before returning to game action on Tuesday, which proved insufficient preparation time. ESPN identified the third week of August as a realistic target window for Clark's return, considering her status requires daily monitoring. This time frame coincides with a favorable stretch in the Fever's schedule that could accommodate her comeback effectively.
In a role that's probably in and around where I would have hoped. I would have thought maybe the Sky game on the 10th, because I think that's probably where they're hoping to kind of aim her back in for. But I think they were saying a lot of it was she wants to play a couple of days of practice in a row. But like, they play games every 2 days. So if you guys haven't seen the Fever schedule, so the Fever come in and they have a game on Wednesday. They then have a game on Friday. So they play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
The team's upcoming schedule presents specific challenges and opportunities. The Fever face games on Wednesday and Friday, followed by contests on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday against the Sky on August 10th. Following that matchup, they enjoy a brief respite with Sunday and Monday off before their Tuesday game. This schedule provides potential practice time while playing at home. The Fever's homestand includes matchups against the Sky, Wings, and Mystics. This period appears optimal for Clark's return since the team subsequently embarks on a demanding road trip.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday against the Sky on the 10th. And then after the 10th, they have a Sunday, Monday in the game on Tuesday. So they have that practice then, and they're home. Okay, so they're home against the Sky, they're home against the Wings, they're home against the Mystics. My assumption is, yeah, I think they're right. I think during that homestand, because they do go on a road trip, like she's not going to be back during the road trip.
The 4 or 5 game Western road swing presents logistical challenges that would limit practice opportunities and rehabilitation time. The Western portion of their road schedule includes multiple games that would require extensive travel, making it impractical for Clark to rejoin the team during this stretch. Travel demands and limited practice facilities on the road create suboptimal conditions for her return. The most realistic scenario suggests Clark might resume practicing after August 10th, with potential game action on either August 13th or 16th. This timeline would provide her with the final 11 games of the regular season to regain form and prepare for postseason play. Clark would benefit from remaining home during the 4-game Western road trip to focus on rehabilitation rather than traveling with the team.
She's not going to be back during the road trip. They go on a 5-game road or 4-game road trip. She will not be back during the road trip. They're not going to get enough practice time. I wouldn't be surprised considering the fact that quite some of these games are out west. 2 of these games are west. She's definitely not coming back for these games. These 2 games here. So I think, yeah, that 10th, maybe she comes back and starts practicing after the 10th and they try to get her back for either the 13th or the 16th game. And that sounds like the most realistic thing. Because look, she comes back for the 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
While fans in those markets would miss seeing her play, prioritizing her long-term health and recovery takes precedence over short-term appearances. Olsen feared when CA, Kisa lead when BA bays, and B. The anticipated return schedule suggests Clark might participate in team activities when they return home on Friday, potentially joining shoot-around sessions and limited 5-on-5 scrimmaging. She would likely sit out the Saturday CBS game against the Sky before potentially returning for either the Wings or Mystics contest. This conservative approach appears sensible given the injury timeline. While Clark's specific groin strain might not typically require a full month of recovery, the cautious timeline accounts for her recent injury history.
So it's the last 11 games of the season. Yeah, I think that does sound the most realistic because she's not going to get any practice time in during the road spell. She's not going to get enough practice time. She's probably, if I was Caitlin, because it's a 4-game West trip, I'd stay at home during that 4-game trip. I understand the fans are there to see her, but at the end of the day, like, rehab is more important. It's a different thing when you're going to Chicago. It's a different thing when you're playing at home or your away games are relatively close. You're on a 4-game West.
The primary objective isn't just healing the current injury, as Clark has likely already recovered from the groin issue itself. Instead, the extended timeline aims to prevent additional soft tissue injuries and ensure optimal health for playoff competition. The medical staff wants to minimize re-injury risk while positioning Clark for peak performance during the postseason. A 10-game regular season stretch should provide sufficient preparation time for playoff success. The Fever's ability to maintain competitiveness during Clark's absence becomes crucial for their postseason positioning.
Away road trip, I'd sit out completely at that. I would completely sit out. And then, yeah, I think they're right that they're probably going to come back in. They're probably going to get back on, like, this is the Thursday night game, this is Saturday night game. They're probably going to get back on Friday, and she might take part in like a shoot around, a little bit of 5v5 on the Friday, and then sit out the Saturday game against the Sky on CBS, and then come back maybe for the Wings game or the Mystics game. I think that ESPN are probably on the money with that. I think that is
currently sitting 2 games above .500, they can afford a modest decline during the challenging road stretch. A 2-3 record during the 5-game span would leave them 1 game above .500 entering the Sky matchup. Victory against the Sky, which appears achievable even without Clark, would restore their 2-game cushion above .500. This positioning allows flexibility during the Wings and Mystics games, knowing they should secure at least 1 victory in those contests with Clark's return. Even if they struggle initially upon her return, a strong finish including a likely victory over the Sun would maintain their playoff positioning.
I think that ESPN are probably on the money with that. I think that is realistically the best case scenario, and I think she's going to come back, and I think she's going to come back strong. I think she's going to come back ready to play, and 10th of August, like, it's the guts of a month out. And look, it's an injury that doesn't need a month. Like, her specific injury is not something that needs a month. However, considering it's off the back of multiple different injuries, the goal isn't for her to heal from this groin injury, which realistically she's probably...
The team needs to navigate the challenging back-to-back games against the Lynx while staying competitive. A 24-20 final record would likely secure a 4th or 5th seed playoff position, which represents the optimal scenario for the Fever. This seeding would avoid the dangerous 6th seed position and the uncertainty of 7-8 matchups. While the Aces might pose challenges in lower-seeded playoff series, the Fever would prefer avoiding such scenarios. In 4th or 5th position, the Fever would face either the Dream or Storm in opening playoff rounds, matchups that favor Indiana with Clark healthy.
Look good, hit some timely shots. Rachel Banham hit some timely shots. They kept, every time the Fever looked to pull away, they didn't give up and they fought back. It was absolutely like, first of all, I just want to say, this is one of the better games. This is one of the games I'm like, if I'm a Sky fan, I know you want to say there's no such thing as a moral victory, but your team sucks this bad. Thank you for the $15, Robert. Really appreciate that. When your team suck this bad.
The team shows greater potential in these specific playoff scenarios compared to alternative seedings. The extended recovery timeline makes strategic sense beyond medical considerations. Rushing Clark back during a demanding road trip would compromise her rehabilitation quality and limit practice opportunities. The conservative approach prioritizes long-term success over immediate gratification. The Fever's performance without Clark demonstrates important team development.
When you're in as bad a stretch as you are in, when you are in as bad a stretch as you're in, you have to take moral victories. When you're going to lose every single game, you've got to take moral victories. You have got to take moral victories. And this is absolutely a moral victory for the Chicago Sky. However, we got to talk about the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever. I'll talk about Kelsey Mitchell at the end. So, the Fever were struggling a little bit. Their starters.
Their ability to remain competitive during her absence builds confidence and depth that benefits the entire organization. Continued success without their star player creates a stronger foundation for her eventual return. When Clark does return, the team will be better positioned both competitively and developmentally. The experience gained during her absence should translate into improved team chemistry and individual player growth. This development becomes crucial for postseason success where depth and versatility matter significantly.
They're struggling a little bit. Their starters were a bit iffy. Natasha Howard didn't want to be there. Like, she did not want to be there. And that's fine. Like, Natasha Howard, it's very clear when Natasha Howard is locked in, she's one of the better power forwards in the league. When she's not locked in, she's one of the worst players in the league. Like, there's no in between. When she saw Angel Reese was not going to be there, she was just like, nah. Missed a couple of open layups, 0 of 5 in the field, 0 points, 0 rebounds. It is what it is. She's had some insane games, so I'm not.
The franchise recognizes that championship aspirations require Clark's presence and optimal health, while the team can compete for playoff positioning without her. Advancing deep into the postseason demands her full participation and peak performance. The current conservative approach serves these long-term championship goals effectively. This represents a significant victory for Indiana. Many observers might downplay the 15-point margin against Chicago, noting Angel Reese's absence, but Indiana was also without Caitlin Clark.
Rebounds. It is what it is. She's had some insane games, so I'm not going to be too annoyed by this. I thought Ari McDonald, I know, like, box score wise, she looked good. I did not think she played well. I thought she made a lot of costly turnovers, a few live ball turnovers. I did not think she played well. I thought Aaliyah really controlled every part of that game in the first half. She was passing. She was doing a lot of things well. And I thought Chloe Bibby was exceptional. In Chloe Bibby's...
This stands as a quality triumph, representing Chicago's strongest performance by far since Ariel Atkins suffered her injury. The Sky demonstrated...
was exceptional. In Chloe Bibby's first 4 minutes on the floor, she hit 2 3-point shots, and in her first 4 minutes, she already scored more points than Bree Turner has done for the Indiana Fever. Bree Turner and Dantas both got DNP coach decisions. Lexi Hull, I thought this was her first. I know she didn't shoot the greatest. This was her first real game looking like Lexi Hull in a while. And look, whether she starts or whether she's on the bench, she's still iffy on the layups. She is an energy player, and
Rachel Banham connected on important shots throughout the contest. Each time Indiana threatened to extend their advantage, Chicago responded with determination and refused to surrender. For Sky supporters, despite the reluctance to acknowledge moral victories when a team struggles this severely, the current stretch of poor play necessitates finding positives wherever possible. When facing inevitable defeats, these small triumphs become essential. This performance absolutely qualifies as such a positive for Chicago.
On the layups, she is an energy player, and you want to keep Lexi Hull. I think Lexi Hull is going to sign a team-friendly deal over the summer. I don't think we're going to have to pay Lexi Hull anything crazy. I think she's going to sign a team-friendly deal. And if you guys agree with that, subscribe. We are trying to hit 55.4K. We've already hit it and gone lower. So if there's 3 of you guys even in the chat right now that are not subscribed, it'd be great. And if you guys are new to the channel, obviously subscribe, but, or if you guys could leave a like, we greatly appreciate it. We got 240 likes. Can we get to 300 by the end of the stream?
Regarding Indiana's showing, the starters faced some challenges early on. Natasha Howard appeared disengaged and uninterested in competing. Her inconsistency remains evident when focused. She ranks among the league's elite power forwards, but when disconnected, she becomes one of the least effective players. Recognizing Reese's absence, Howard seemed mentally checked out, missing easy scoring opportunities near the basket, finishing scoreless on 0 field goals, and grabbing no rebounds. Given her previous outstanding performances, this subpar outing can be overlooked.
Likes, can we get to 300 by the end of the stream? But we got to talk about, first of all, before we go to Kelsey Mitchell, who's unbelievable, KK effing Timpson. KK Timpson. Like, this is a player that I kid you not. KK Timpson is for real. Like, she is a black hole, but she just flies.
Ari McDonald, despite favorable statistics, made several costly mistakes, including multiple live ball turnovers that hurt the team. Aaliyah Boston dominated the opening half, controlling various aspects through excellent passing and overall court management. Chloe Bibby proved exceptional in limited minutes, sinking 2 3-pointers in her first 4 minutes and already outscoring players like Bree Turner, who received coaches' decisions along with Dant. Lexi Hull showed glimpses of her true capabilities for the first time recently, despite shooting struggles. Whether starting or coming off the bench, she remains inconsistent around the rim but provides valuable energy.
She just flies. Like, it literally... When you watch her play, I said tweeted out KK might be the most athletic player. She can legit fly, and someone goes, welcome back Michael Jordan with the long arm. She just flies through the air and puts her arm in the air, and like, her wingspan is as disproportionate as like some crazy NBA wingspans. Oh my god, thank you, Kevin, for $93. Imagine the fever score. Oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hull likely will accept a team-friendly contract extension rather than demanding significant compensation. KK Timpson deserves special recognition as a legitimate talent. She moves like a player who can truly elevate, displaying remarkable athleticism with her ability to soar through the air and extend her unusually long wingspan. Her proportions resemble those exceptional NBA players possess. Despite being a raw talent requiring development, Timpson scored 14 points while showing solid free throw shooting.